Everybody to our workshop. Today we're going to be discussing different workout strategies that you can use when you travel or when you're at home. And also the purpose of this workshop is particularly for those of you that are members here to teach you how to take the things that you've learned in your workouts and apply it when you travel or when you're at home when maybe you don't have enough time to get in a full workout. So that's what our purpose is today. And I want to thank you all for coming. You all know me, except Brian we just met. I'm Sarah, the owner of Real Fitness Coaching. And I just appreciate you all being here and investing in your health because you're here to learn, and that means that you have a commitment to your health and fitness, and I applaud you for that because you're the only one in charge of your body and your health and fitness. So let's talk about this first side of the sheet. This is not the workout side, but the other side. That's what we're going to be going through, these 6 tips. The first tip is, who saw the video that I posted earlier this week with the tip on consistency? Raise your hand. Nobody. Nobody saw it. So then I'm going to tell you all about it. But you can watch it online. Okay. So the tip that I shared about consistency is that to reach your goals, you need to be consistent. Since none of you heard it, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I said. If you want to have good dental hygiene, you don't just brush your teeth one time and then it's over. Right? How often do you need to brush your teeth?
At least twice.
At least twice a day. Sometimes people do it more, right? But there's a consistency. You need to floss, and you need to go to the dentist, maybe at least once or twice a year. But that's something that has to happen consistently throughout your life for you to get and receive good dental hygiene. The other thing I talked about in the video is how this plays out in a relationship with a significant other or family members. And what's important to think about in relationships is that it's not the big, huge, grand gestures that you make for that other person, but it's the things you do on a daily basis that matter to them. So the way that you treat them, the things that you say to them, those are the things that add up over time and contribute to a really great relationship, right? It's not just like those big events, the things that happen. But those are 2 examples of consistency and getting a good, positive result. The same thing occurs for fitness. You can't just work out one time and expect that you're going to be fit for the rest of your life. That being said, a lot of people come in here to achieve like a weight loss goal and mistakenly believe that once they achieve it, then it's done. It's over, right? I can just like relax, kick back, and that's not how it works. You have to actually work to maintain the goals that you've achieved. So consistency. That's tip number 1. So you need to get into the mindset that exercise is for the rest of your life. If you want to be a healthy, strong, fit person, this is for the rest of your life. It's not just for 3 months or 6 months or 12 months and achieving your weight loss goal. It is for the rest of your life. All right, strategy and tip number 2 is that nutrition must match your goals. I'm not going to talk a long time about nutrition today because that's not what this workshop is about. But if you have a goal, and you're training and you're exercising, you're working out 5, 6 times a week, but your nutrition doesn't match that goal, if your goal is weight loss or changing your body or reducing your body fat, you're never going to make it. So you have to make sure that your nutrition matches your goal so that you are getting the most out of your workouts, because alone, workouts and exercise cannot change your body. Nutrition has to be in place to match that. And I have an example of that. Some of you may or may not have experienced this where you've worked out at a gym for a long time and you sort of see the same faces because you go at the same time on the same day. And you see them on the cardio machines, the ellipticals, and it looks like they're on it for hours and hours, and maybe they're overweight and they never change. Like they look like that always. So that's an example of someone who's working out quite a bit. But if weight loss is their goal, they're not going to make it until nutrition is in place for them to reach their goal. Okay, strategy and tip number 3. Morning training sets you up for success. This is not for everybody, for sure. However, a little snicker over there. However, one example I have from this is that if any of you know about our current president and his wife, they work out in the morning. They make an effort to get up extra early and work out before their busy day starts. That is because when you get up first thing in the morning, there's usually nobody needing you or expecting you to do something, but if you can imagine the end of your workday, maybe a meeting pops up, a family member needs something, you forgot to get something at the grocery store. I mean, you have a bazillion reasons as to why not to work out, so it can often be a much bigger of a challenge to work out at the end of the day versus the beginning of the day. And research does show that people who work out earlier in the day, in the morning, are more successful in weight loss and reaching their goals and maintaining. Okay, strategy number 4, create a supportive environment, people and things. Let's talk about things. How can your environment be set up so that you can be successful and consistently exercise? Because that's what our goal is, consistent exercise, staying strong, having a fit and healthy body for the rest of your life. So what are some strategies that you can do to help you keep those consistent workouts? One is that if you're going to work out the next day, you think about preparing for your day the day before. Maybe you have your exercise clothes laid out, your gym bag, your sneakers. Are you going to work right after your workout? So then you need to get your stuff for work ready and maybe your food before. There's someone in here that can give you great tips about that if you need help, okay? She's really good at it. So setting yourself up for success. If you don't have any of that stuff ready, the likelihood of you getting to that morning workout is slim to none because you're not ready, you're not prepared, and now you don't have enough time to get everything in place. The second thing is in your environment is scheduling your workouts for yourself. So if you keep a paper calendar, a phone calendar, a calendar at work, some people really overlook this, and this is a big strategy that helps people be successful and consistent, because if you see that in your phone or on your desk or whatever, you're like, oh yeah, I'm working out that day. But just imagine you have nothing scheduled, you have it in your head. Oh yeah, I usually go to that Friday class, or I usually go to that Saturday class, but you look at your planner and someone asks you, hey, can you do this on Saturday at 8? And you're like, yeah, totally. And then the next day you're like, oh shoot, that's when I normally go to class. But if you had it written in there, and you saw it in your calendar when the person asked you for something, you'd say, oh, hey, hopefully you'd say, hey, you know what? I've got an obligation at that time. Can I do it a little later? Would that work? So it's very overlooked in terms of successfully having consistent workouts. And I want to apply this to travel. Because when you guys travel and when you go home for holidays and vacations and things like that, it's important to set the tone for what your time is going to be like when you're away and schedule those workouts in and think about how that's going to play out when you're traveling. And that comes to creating a supportive environment with people. First, let's talk about your people here. So where you live, your friends, your coworkers, your significant other, those kinds of things. The people that are more successful in reaching their goals have shared their goals with their significant other, with their friends. It's not a secret what they're doing and trying to do, right? But their friends know and their friends support them. And the benefit of that is that now, maybe if you're out or whatever and you make a choice that's a little different, right? Your friends, you know your friends know your goals. So you have a little bit more accountability to your friends and your social circle. But the other thing let's talk about is the holidays. A lot of people, when they go home for the holidays, their family sort of expects you to be how they knew you when you used to live there. You know, when you were a kid, really, is what they remember. And so if you've been doing for the last 6 months or a year a workout program, but your parents, your family don't know about that, they may just expect you to come home and like, hey, yeah, we're going to eat, we're going to shop, we're going to sit around and watch movies. In their mind, they don't see you as a fit, active, strong person. That's not their perception, because they remember you how they remembered you when you were living at home. And so it is very important if you share with them before your trip, hey, so I've been doing this workout program, and when I come home, you know, I want to make sure that I fit some workouts in, and I might want to go to the gym, or, you know, what's going to work out well with our plans and things that are going on. So it is important that you lay that foundation. And I'll give an example of that. When my boyfriend and I went to my family's home in the fall, when I talked to my dad, I said, hey, you know, we want to spend time with you, but we also want to be really active, and every day. And these are the kinds of things we want to do. We want to hike, we want to bike, you know, I want to go to the gym at your office and work out. And if you want to do that with us, great. Like, we'd love to do that all together. And if not, then Brad and I could just go do it on our own. And so he had that expectation. And then when we were there, you know, he was like, hey, so let's go to Stowe, let's go for a bike ride, and want to go hiking, and let's get your sister to go. And so it sounds like a really simple thing, and some people aren't comfortable to do that, but it is important that you share with other people around you and create that supportive environment so that you can be successful. Because we're not talking about you just reaching a goal for the short term, we're talking about you integrating health and fitness into your whole life. And these are some of the steps that it takes to make that be successful. Okay. Strategy number 5, make it easy. Short training is better than none. That's what we're going to be doing in the workout in just a few minutes. And it's very important that you not have in your mind, like, okay, I'm traveling, I'm going to be home, I need to find an hour to work out. Like, that is hard, right? Sometimes you don't have that much time. And that feels like too indulgent when your family is expecting you to do things with them. So make it easy. Short training is better than none. And I'll share a story of this when Brad and I traveled in the spring and we went away to a beach place. This was the first time we didn't stay at a resort. We didn't have a workout facility. We were staying in a small little studio apartment, so we didn't have any tools, really. We brought a band and a door anchor. That was it, because we had weight restrictions on our plane. So we really were bringing like suntan lotion and snorkels and clothes, but not, a lot of space for workout gear. So we brought a band and one door anchor. My goal, and I shared this with my boyfriend before we left, was I wanted to exercise 5 minutes minimum every day on the trip. I didn't care what we did, but 5 minutes each day. And he kind of complained a little bit. Oh man, you're making me work out every day. It's vacation. Come on. It's like 5 minutes. And so one day we would jog down to the beach. We'd do some intervals. We'd do some strength training on the beach. Just body weight stuff. Push-ups, lunges, squats, squat jumps, things like that. We would go out, take a little jog, walk, come back, and we'd use the one band, and we'd make a little circuit in our little tiny room with the one band. We do rows, we do chest presses, we do chops. There's a lot of stuff you can do with one band, for sure. And every day it felt great until the last day, and I didn't want to do it. I was like, oh God, I'm so tired, it's been like 9 days in a row. And he's like, come on, let's just go. So we walked down to the beach, and it was a pretty relaxed workout, but we did something. So the reason I share this with you is because a lot of people travel, and a lot of people travel for work, and they go home, and you need to set the bar low. 5 minutes. I mean, can't you guys all agree that 5 minutes is pretty doable to do something each day, right? Now, if you have more time and you want to do more. But in your mind, make it easy, because that won't be an obstacle to you exercising if you make it really easy in your mind. The other thing is that when a lot of people travel and they have this intention of, oh, it's got to be an hour, I have to go to a gym, and it doesn't happen, they've had like a whole week with no exercise. But imagine if that person had 5 minutes each day. They've gotten their metabolism ramped up, they're burning more calories, they're stronger, they feel better, they have more energy. So it's a totally different scenario, and you really get a lot out of it, even if it's just a teeny little bit each day. Okay, we're to our last strategy and tip. Number 6, remember that daily habits are more important than big goals. Has anybody read The Happiness Project? It's a book. I don't know the author. I can't remember her name. It's a blue book, but it's a very good book. One of the things that stuck with me that she talks about is that it is okay, and it is important that we set big goals like milestones, right? Things that we all want to accomplish in our life. And I'm going to take that and relate it to fitness. It's good to set those big goals. However, set them and then get past it and focus on daily things that you can do. Daily habits. And that goes back to the 5 minutes of exercise each day. And also it applies to things about nutrition. Daily habits are better because when you're doing things consistently, those small changes and those small habits, especially in here, will change your whole body. So it's not that focus of like the big goal, oh my gosh, because that gets a little bit daunting sometimes of how am I going to reach that? When am I going to reach that? It's not going to happen. It's not happening, right? We can spiral down very deep. But if you can focus on the daily stuff that you can control and the daily habits around your nutrition and exercise and your mindset, and be proud of yourself for doing the little bits that you're doing, you're going to really get there and make a lot of progress.